Thank you, Chairman Palmer and Ranking Member Tonko, for holding this important hearing on recycling. As a representative from Iowa, I know firsthand the challenges that rural communities face in accessing recycling services. Over 36% of Iowa households lack access to recycling, and that's over 450,000 families. It's an economic and a national security imperative, as well as an environmental issue. Iowa's manufacturing sector depends on recycled materials as feedstocks, yet we're watching China and other competitors purchase our scrap at above market prices while our own factories struggle to source domestic materials. The data shows we're landfilling millions of tons of valuable manufacturing materials every year, materials that should be creating jobs and strengthening supply chains right here in America. In Iowa alone, we're capturing less than half of our aluminum cans and only 15% of our steel cans, despite having to deposit on aluminum cans. That's not just waste, it's a lost economic opportunity for our manufacturers and increased dependence on foreign suppliers. And this challenge extends beyond traditional materials. Last year, my amendment to the NDAA directed the Department of Defense to report on recovering rare earth elements from electronic waste using acid-free dissolution technology developed by the Ames National Laboratory. We must keep these critical minerals in American hands, not ship them overseas. It's also why I introduced the Recycling Infrastructure and Accessibility Act. Our IAA would establish a pilot grant program specifically targeting communities like many in my district without a recycling facility within 75 miles. It's bipartisan legislation that's earned endorsements from industry leaders, many of you here today, and manufacturers who understand that recycling infrastructure is manufacturing infrastructure, and that domestic material supply is economic security. And I urge this committee to pass our IAA. Mr. Felton, are there ways to better utilize our pre-established recycling systems? For example, would a hub-and-spoke pilot program connecting small towns to establish recycling infrastructure, as seen as in my bill, the RIAA, improve recycling without requiring a resource-heavy system overall?
Thank you, Representative Miller-Meeks, for your question. And absolutely, the RIAA is another critical tool in the toolbox, if you will. I never like to hear the phrase recycling is broken in the United States. My belief is recycling is continuing to mature and always will continue to mature. And the RIAA is a very perfect example, really, of how to increase recycling, give more people access, a little bit of funding, right, from the federal government. But it's again, another tool in the toolbox, along with thoughtfully crafted, implemented, extended producer responsibility, recycled content requirements, which actually drive, don't restrict packaging. So again, absolutely, that's a tool we need.
Thank you. Mr. Bedingfield, we're losing $10.6 billion in critical minerals through e-waste exports. My NDAA amendment last year addressed recovering rare earth elements from defense electronics. Beyond supporting individual technologies like yours, what broader federal framework do we need to capture the full value of our e-waste, from precious metals to rare earth elements, and keep those strategic resources in American supply chain?
Sure, and thank you for your leadership in this space. As much as I'd like to say we can solve the whole problem, we can't. So the funding that's available right now, directing that to states to be able to incentivize businesses like ours, I think would drive it. Working with states and local communities to find the need to create the jobs there to recover the metal that ultimately supplies the businesses that we're bringing back is the key. But the scale is massive. It's going to take a long time to do it, but we must get started.
Thank you. And Mr. Eisenberg, we have a Novelis and Arconic facility in our district that rely on secondary aluminum. I also have Gerdau and SSAB, and most people don't realize that 98% of the steel in the United States is recycled. But they're struggling to source domestic materials. We're seeing China purchase our aluminum scrap at above market prices, process it, and sell it back to us at a premium. So just asking for you, how does a bill such as the RIAA help to address this issue?
Well, so this is the beauty of actually putting federal dollars and creating pilot programs to improve sort of the accessibility here. There's been so many, and plastics, frankly, has the exact same problem, right? I mean, I've visited recyclers, and in the town that they're in, they don't have blue bins because the municipality can't afford it. And it's you sort of see this really strange dynamic. So you absolutely, I mean, it is something that could use federal attention. I really appreciate you doing this. We strongly support the RIA and think it's a bill that really could make a big difference here.
Thank you very much. My time has expired. I yield back.